Welcome back to RAYGO Reactions. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. How are we all doing? I hope you're all having a blinding day. On today's video, I'm going to consider myself getting a little treat here because somebody donated to the channel. Now, they would like to remain unanimous, but I just want to say, you know who you are. Thank you for the suggestion and thank you for the generous donation. They have suggested Fleetwood Mac, I'm So Afraid, live in 1997 at The Dance. Now, if you know me at all, my best band of all time is Fleetwood Mac, and recently somebody else has matched that, and I'm gonna consider it like top two, just as good as each other. Dire Straits. They're honestly insane, and it's just everything meets my perfection of what music is. Now, this next bit's gonna sound crazy. Although Fleetwood Mac are my best band, I actually haven't dived very deep into the rabbit hole. I've only dipped my toes into the classics and realistically two of their albums, Tusk and Fleetwood Mac. And obviously everyone in the world knows Rumours. So those three albums, Rumours, Tusk, and they've got an album that's called Fleetwood Mac. Those three, they're the only ones I ever listened to. Now, I know they've got earlier stuff from the 60s when, you know, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks weren't even in the band, but I haven't loitered with any of that stuff. And I know they've got things on later albums in the more towards the late 80s, and I haven't really listened to any of them. And that sounds crazy, but I'm one of these people who, once I know what I like, I stick to it, and I don't venture out, and that's the meaning of this channel. That's what's so good about it. I can explore, and when you guys donate to the channel and suggest your choices, it's even cooler because I go where I definitely wouldn't ever go. So we're here now. It's a little treat. I've never listened to this song. And again, even though I love Fleetwood Mac, I'm limited because I don't really watch them live. I've not seen any of their live stuff either. It's just, I'm in the car and I listen to them albums. You know what I mean? And I've seen stuff by Lindsey Buckingham because he's a G. But I know there's still so much to see by these guys. Do you know what I mean? Without further ado, let's get into it! Bass. Them drums are sounding hard. This is why I love Fleetwood Mac, because the variation that they give on their songs, and again, everyone's a talented person in this band. Do you know what I mean? Like Lindsay, and also everyone has their own songs. Now, believe it or not, I actually tend to favour Christine's songs. I just think, like, Think About Me is an absolute blinding song. If you don't know that one, I've even done a cover of it. I did it like 2 years ago. It's so sick. In fact, I'll leave it pinned in the description below so you can have a watch it after this. But I love the harmonies. Like when Stevie Nicks joined in, then just for that brief moment, it's that. That's why I fell in love with Fleetwood Mac. Not only is the guitar just like what Mark Knopfler does, it's just music to my ears. They both play the notes I want to hear. Imagine if Lindsey Buckingham and Mark Knopfler did a song together. That, to me, I can only imagine that would be the best song of all time. Because them taking it in turns doing solos. By the way, this song is sounding very nice. Let's go. Passionate. That sounds sick. Look how big that sounds. I mean, I don't really need to justify why they're my best band after watching that. But I will, because they deserve it. One thing that's good about Lindsey Buckingham and the way he does guitar solos is he's got a melody in mind, and, you know, the basic melody of the song is what you've been listening to the whole time. And then he will play that, and he will keep going back to it. And then he will drift off, and he'll go back to it again. I'll give you an example. Let's just say, for example, that the guitar melody we're going with is... Yeah, so that's the melody. And then he'll go... Do you know what I mean? And he keeps resorting back to it. And what that does is the solo keeps resolving itself, and it gives you a checkpoint, and it makes your ears go, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. And it keeps doing it every 20 seconds. When you drift off and you think, okay, he's going down a route where only guitar players are now falling in love. And it's almost like, because, you know, guitar players have habits of that. Like, comes to a point where people who aren't a fan can lose interest. He keeps your attention. That's why he's so good, because he keeps your attention the whole time, and you don't get bored, and it's constantly refreshing, and then he brings you back to why the song's good. Do you know what I mean? It's so sick. Again. And then he'll go off into a tangent. And that is only a crappy example, because obviously he's way better. But that's why I love Fleetwood Mac, because, you know, when it's a song that you love, they don't tread too far away from that path of that song. This is the song, solo section. Don't worry, I'm going to keep the melody there. I am going to drift over here a bit, though, because I need to get this out my system. But I'll come back and I'll captivate you again. You know what I mean? It's so sick, and it's so smart how he does it. And if you watch his solos now, you will see what I mean. Genius. And that is a good song. I've never heard that song, but the chorus is very powerful. And his voice, again, I don't know what it is, but I think it can only, I mean, a lot of people might go, Joe, you're talking rubbish, but I'm going to say it anyway. The reason I love Fleetwood Mac is because his voice, it's not grade A quality. It's not amazing. It's just, he's a great songwriter and he's a singer. But I think it's fair to say he wouldn't have been as big if he didn't have the great vocals of Stevie Nicks. Now, she is the singer of the band. She is the star of the show when it comes to vocals. And she's amazing. When it's Lindsey's turn, you can see it goes from A star to B grade vocals. But that's okay. That's okay, because his guitar does the talking for him, and his passion does the talking for him. And that, you know, he makes up for it in other ways. You don't have to be A star at everything to be a great musician. And that's why I love Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler's voice is good because he does only what he can do with it. If you start saying, right, Mark, we need you to go and do a cover on Saturday Night Live, you're singing a Cher song or a Guns N' Roses song where you need to hit those Axl Rose vocals, he's going to go, what? Nah, I can't, mate. I can't. I can only do me. And there's singers who can do everything. If you ask Stevie Nicks to go and sing a Madonna song or something, she's going to go, no problem, I've got you. And that's why I like Fleetwood Mac, because they all do different roles. And the reason, coming back to me, I relate to that is because I favour the guitar, but I'm in a band called RAYGO Bloom and I sing. But I consider my vocals, they're B grade, if not C minus. You know, God did not give me great vocals, but that's okay, because he gifted me in other ways. Everyone's gifted in some ways. I'm pretty good on the guitar, do you know what I mean? And I'm fine with that. Some people have got it all, and they're the geniuses of the world. But do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I like him so much, because it's so relatable. He's a human. He's a gangster, though. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Guys, I hope you know what I'm getting at. Anyway, if you've liked this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, because I've got plenty more where this came from. And listen, if you want to suggest a song of your choice by Fleetwood Mac or anyone, follow the link in the description and you can inquire on one of those. I'm going to love yous and leave you with one of my songs that I have just written. It's actually a tribute song to Fleetwood Mac, because they're so good. I thought, I'm going to write a tribute song to these guys and try and capture the essence of Dire Straits. It's called Healthy Man by RAYGO Bloom.
I woke up this morning, poured myself a drink. I picked up my guitar as I looked out to the sea. I didn't think much of it. It's nothing I've never seen. But then I put on the news and I soon realized how lucky I am to be a healthy man. The sky. Thank the Lord that I'm here and I'm grateful for a new sunrise, to be alive. When I put my shoes on, to leave the house, I look in the mirror and make sure that I smile. I no longer question why I feel down. I remind myself of good health and I soon turn that frown upside down. It's never too late. try.